Winter weather forecast. Well, first let's hit rewind and see what we experienced last winter. It was warm and wet last year with a temperature 8.9 degrees above normal. Our rainfall 18.8 inches, that is 3.5 inches above normal. Snowfall, we did have some accumulations and a little bit of a wintry mess in some spots, especially in the higher elevations. Maybe make a snow angel, maybe some of you were able to get out and play in a little bit of the snow, but it wasn't that impressive of a season. And in the valleys, we only saw light traces, hardly anything at all. So the official reading was 2.5 inches below normal snowfall. Now looking ahead for this year, first thing we look at is what kind of year is it? Is it a La Nina year, an El Nino year, or a neutral year? Well, this year is a La Nina year. Last year was a La Nina year. That means that the water in the equatorial Pacific is cooler than normal, which means a lot for all of the weather all over the world. A couple of things it means as well. It means higher hurricane activity in the Caribbean, lower hurricane activity in the Atlantic, but for our purposes, that cooler water, that La Nina pattern has an impact on the jet stream going across the United States. If we think of the jet stream as that dividing line between colder air to the north and warmer air to the south, that jet stream during La Nina is further north. That means that all of that warm air to the south can rise further north, which for us means a warmer than normal winter season. Well, how about precipitation? Notice we have this moisture feed that's a little bit further north as well. So typically during a La Nina year, we'll see most of the moisture, the rain, the snow further north, and it will be drier than normal in the southeast, the southern United States, and that does include the Tennessee Valley as that drier zone rises a little bit further north. Well, the Climate Prediction Center puts out a forecast every year, and they're pretty much going right along with that La Nina pattern that I showed you a moment ago. Notice the precipitation a little bit further north. This is normal precipitation. This is drier than normal, and you can see we're right on the cusp between normal precipitation and the dry stuff. Now, how about the temperature? Well, again, Climate Prediction Center going pretty much with La Nina, where we have the colder temperatures well to the north. Here is that normal zone, and then here is where we have the above normal temperatures, and that does include Chattanooga. So that's a Climate Prediction Center. But we can also take into account some of the model data that we have. Let's start with the temperature for December, January, and February. I have a couple of models that we're looking at. These go along with that La Nina feature, showing very warm conditions over the Tennessee Valley in both models. So it looks pretty safe to say that we are going to have above normal temperatures this winter season as well. Well, what about the precipitation? Well, look at the model data for that as well. Now, one thing that is different than that La Nina pattern in the Climate Prediction Center, it has the moisture coming a little bit further south in both scenarios, especially this one, which shows some pretty decent precipitation. So when we take that into account, we have to bump up our precipitation number. So what's the bottom line? What are we looking at this year? With a temperature for the 2022-2023 outlook, I think all signs are pointing to a warm winter once again. Above normal temperatures, 2 degrees to 4 degrees above normal. Rainfall, I think, like last year, we're looking at normal to slightly above normal rainfall. We'll call it 15 inches to 18 inches during that 3-month time span. And the snowfall, and I think you see where I'm going, with the warmer weather, with the above normal rainfall, the snowfall, it's not looking good. We're going to call it below normal, with the valleys getting a trace to 2 inches and the mountains getting 2 inches to 4 inches.
Our Storm Alert team is enjoying tonight's forecast. I just want to say, after having watched that, I've determined that if I want snow cream this year, looks like I'll have to make a friend up on a mountain somewhere. You guys have all the fun.